What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. So we got that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar getting herself into a world of trouble. She continues to dare President Donald Trump to deport her and her Somalian constituents for the widespread fraud discovered across their state of Minnesota. Guys, I'm excited to get into this one, so we'll hop straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
So, what's your response to what President Trump's been saying about you being removed from the country? He wants to see you removed, and he's alleging that you married your brother in violated immigration law. What's your response to what he's saying about you?
The fact that you all listen to what that guy says is really something.
Do you think he's going to possibly investigate you? Are you worried about that in terms of violating immigration law, allegedly?
He's been saying that since 2019, and as you can see, I'm still here.
Alright folks, so we can see that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar is continuing to play those same old games, essentially daring President Donald Trump to act upon the blatant fraud and crimes that are being committed by her and her Somali constituents across the state of Minnesota. So she's got this big tough guy act on. She's big and bad, but immediately following this right here with this journalist, she took to CBS to play the victim.
The Biden-era Justice Department called it the largest COVID fraud scheme in the country, and this was pocketing COVID-era welfare funds, more than $1 billion in taxpayer money that was stolen. It was pretty shocking. Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent, and that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say, this also has an impact on Somalis because we are also taxpayers in Minnesota. We also could have benefited from the program and the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people to not acknowledge the fact that we're also, as Minnesotans, as taxpayers, really upset and angry about the fraud that has occurred.
Oh, give me a break. Doesn't even look like CBS's Margaret Brennan bought this narrative coming from Representative Ilhan Omar. She claims that these Somalian fraudsters are now the victims in this case because they're quote-unquote taxpayers in the state of Minnesota as well. No one's buying that. We know exactly what's going on. The analytics and the data shows it was over 90% Somalians that were committing these egregious crimes throughout the state of Minnesota, absolutely abusing the system. And now we got Democratic leadership joining in with Ilhan Omar, like the Minneapolis mayor, quickly jumping in and saying he's setting the tone and green lighting this fight against ICE agents and enforcement throughout the state of Minnesota.
And the message that we are sending to our Somali community, to our Latino community, to any community that is being targeted, is that we stand with you. Minneapolis is not backing down. Our police officers will not coordinate with any federal agency that is doing immigration law enforcement work. We stand with the community members that make Minneapolis the extraordinary place that it is, and we aren't backing down. We're rock solid in support of them.
It's very clear to see that the Democratic leadership in the state of Minnesota has absolutely lost it. These folks have lost their minds to join in and support alongside these blatant fraudsters. It just doesn't make any sense. And now we see that the Somalis of Minnesota are saying and claiming that they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere.
Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. We just got done praying. Nobody's worried about ICE. And, like we said, majority of Somalis, they're all citizens. They're all U.S. citizens. I don't know what ICE is looking for. Somalis are here to stay. Yeah. They're not going nowhere.
I'm a student at the University of Minnesota, so a lot of students, they're kind of more worried, We heard ICE is going to the U of M, even though students are citizens.
So now all Somalis in the state of Minnesota are legal. They're residents of the United States of America. But despite all this coming from these loonies on the left, we have reports coming in that Somalis have now been seen in handcuffs boarding planes out of this country. They're being sent back. This is what I voted for.
Now a new video tonight showing federal activity at MSP. Our crew capturing Homeland Security vans at the airport with several people appearing to be handcuffed while boarding that airplane. It's still unclear where the plane may be headed, who in fact are the people on board, or if it's even related to the federal immigration operation that we've been seeing this week. We're still working to learn more information from ICE that at this hour has not responded to our questions.
My response to this is good job. This is what us America First patriots that support President Donald Trump voted for, a complete clean up, clean sweep of these folks that aren't even supposed to be in our country, not to mention the egregious crimes that they've been committing, taking advantage of American systems. We cannot conceive to allow this to happen in our great nation. Now, I want to flip over to some pretty funny footage that I came across. This is a Somalian being detained while someone screams, "Call 911. They're doing kidnapping," but it's ICE simply doing their job, detaining an illegal and sending them back home.
Leave him alone! You guys cannot do that. That's illegal. Call 911. Call 911. They're doing kidnapping. That's illegal. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Smile at me, sir. Smile at me, ma'am.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You guys are doing kidnapping. Kidnapping. This is called kidnapping. Kidnapping. This kidnapping. Call 911. Naima, call 911. Piece of work. This is called kidnapping.
And I'll tell you guys what that was. That was definitely not a kidnapping. That was ICE agents simply enforcing the law. I mean, these folks committed that ultimate crime of coming across our border illegally into our country, and we cannot continue to allow that, especially when these folks are coming over here committing these egregious crimes, taking advantage of the American taxpayers, American systems. We have to stop that, nip it in the bud, or else our great nation will become not so great very quickly. Now, I want to flip over for the loonies on the left to continue to argue that ICE is doing absolutely nothing to clean up the migrant and crime crisis in these cities and states. It seems that these ICE operations, ICE sweeps, have been very effective, as the most popular mall of Minnesota for Somalians has been empty ever since the ICE sweeps have begun.
A lot of people haven't been leaving their home for work or making a living, so it's very unfortunate and very sad.
I feel like it's sad to see everyone inside right now. This is very empty for this area, especially this place to be this quiet, nobody walking around, I think is insane.
Sarah, we went to Carmel Mall. That's really the heart of the Somali community here in Minneapolis. It is normally bustling. There are people everywhere as these shop owners, try to make a living here in America, and it was virtually empty. Most of the people that we spoke with were people who work there, and that was pretty jarring for the people who know that that is normally a very vibrant place. The city says that they are doing everything they can to try to protect citizens.
I find this quite odd that these Somalians, including that Somalian Representative Ilhan Omar, continues to claim that most of the Somalis in the state of Minnesota are here illegally, permanent residents of the United States of America. But as soon as ICE rolls into town, they're gone. They disappear. They go into hiding. So it seems like someone may not be telling the truth. Now, this next one is pretty laughable. This is Representative Ilhan Omar attempting to lecture us on the visions of our founding fathers of what the American dream would look like and what it wouldn't. She says this right here is not it. I don't think that's the case.
This is certainly not what the founding fathers of the American dream were thinking about when they said, that when they set out to write the Constitution.
I can't speak to what exactly our founding fathers envisioned as the American dream, but I could tell you one thing for certain: it was definitely not the Islamification of the United States of America, which is something that Ilhan Omar has called for and participated in. Now, I want to zoom out a bit on this Somalian fraud across the state of Minnesota, because it's not just Ilhan Omar at risk of prosecution. Looks like Governor Tim Walz seems to be up next.
President Trump and Republicans are railing against Governor Tim Walz, and the House Oversight Committee, which has launched its own investigation into the fraud, is now requesting documents, records, and communications from both Walz and State Attorney General Keith Ellison after reports they and other state officials may have been warned and ignored those warnings, allowing this fraud to happen.
The state employees in Minnesota rang the bell. They blew the whistle that there was massive fraud, and yet Tim Walz and Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, apparently turned a blind eye to that for fear of political retaliation from the large voting bloc of Somalis.
Yeah, close to 80,000 Somalis live in Minnesota. They have become a powerful voting bloc for Democrats. But there are now multiple federal investigations into this fraud. Folks close to those cases tell us that what we've seen so far may be just the tip of the iceberg.
And this right here is some very good news as well, because I'm not just for Somalian fraudsters being prosecuted and sent back to their home country. I'm all for justice and the Democratic leadership of the state of Minnesota. They were aware. They knew exactly what was going on, but they turned a blind eye to such widespread and egregious fraud, defrauding America's systems underneath your nose, your leadership. You had to have had something to do with it. And that's just how I feel. Now, I want to end this one on a message, a quite funny message coming from a Somalian of Minnesota over to President Donald Trump. They're playing a very dangerous game right now. This is a line that you just shouldn't cross.
Hello, Donald Trump. What do you say? Somali people is a garbage. No, you the garbage. Because you fire. You are not no more an American president. Somali people, we are American. We are American citizen. We are taxpayer. We are honest. All the world people, some people they do mistake, some people they don't. We are sent for other human beings. But all Somali people, they are not a garbage. All Somali people, they are not a bad. All Somali people, they are not the same. You have to respect for Somali people. We are American. And we hope we waiting nice president. No, all humanitarian people. We are the best. We are taxpayer. We are hard worker. We work in the government and everywhere. Thank you, America.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness, we're witnessing these Somalis and that Somalian representative Ilhan Omar getting dangerously close to that line that you just should not cross when it comes to President Donald Trump. You definitely don't send threats or dare him to come after you when you know you're as dirty as can be. I mean, we've seen what Ilhan Omar did to get her brother into this country, to gain his citizenship. We've seen exactly her net worth. We've seen exactly how she's ballooned her net worth up from 30-some thousand to 30 million in less than 2 years. It makes no sense. So Ilhan Omar, I think it's best that you sit on the sidelines for this one and be quiet, because you're playing a game that I don't think you want to play when it comes to President Donald Trump. We've already seen the way that he's responded to other instances of fraud, malpractice, and abuse of power. This guy is not the one to toy around with. President Donald Trump, it's your turn. I'm telling you right now, you have to act upon this. Go ahead and make an example out of one of these individuals, whether that be Ilhan Omar or the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. These folks have to be held accountable in order to set the tone and let these folks know that this is the line that you just do not cross when it comes to me and my presidency, guys. But definitely hop in that comment section. Comments are open, and I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this. So my question for today is, how long do you guys think it will take until President Donald Trump acts upon Ilhan Omar and her threats, her daring him to prosecute her, or maybe even deport her for her criminal offenses? Hop in that comment section, guys. Comments are open. Excited to hear what you guys are thinking. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.